Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review and another anniversary review, I would say, and another film from 1998, so another 20th anniversary review. Last year I did the 20th anniversary for a film from 1997. This is the sequel, and for this one, for the title. Last year I reviewed I Know What You Did last summer from 1997, 20th anniversary for that one. Now I said I was gonna do this one for the next one for the 20th anniversary for the one. So, and that is the sequel of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Now with this one, okay, the first film I reviewed that I liked the film. I remember growing up with like a little bit a few years after it was released though, but I remember watching it a few times growing up though, and now with the sequel, I like the first one. It has some flaws. Now I can see though it's flawed though, but I overall still like it. Now with this one, sadly though, I don't. I think this film sucks. Although there is a couple of positive things I can say about it, though, but overall this film does not save the film, so I can still say the film sucks. It's just, I would say there's a lot of stupid things that goes on in this movie, and I disagree with these reviews on the top here. Well, this one it says first one says slick and stylish, and the other one is. Well, I completely disagree with it. It's twice the thrills. No. Definitely not twice the thrills. There is no thrills anywhere in this film because it's being too stupid. And the director of this film is Danny Cannon. Now, for all us to know about this, okay, he directed a lot of episodes of TV shows, for Gotham and the TV show Gotham, and I forgot another TV show he helped with, but he also helped serve an executive producer on CSI Crime Scene Investigation, the Las Vegas one, and for CSI Miami. I like both those shows. I like the CSI Las Vegas and the Miami one. He's better off serving as executive producer on those though, but as a director, no, he is not good as a director. There's a film he directed that stars Ray Liotta called The Phoenix. I've not seen that film. But his previous film he did before this was Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone. That was a far cry disappointing film because Stallone as Judge Dredd, that was just a beyond disappointing film for a Sylvester Stallone film. I did not like Judge Dredd at all. That's one of the worst Stallone films I've seen. It's not one of his worst. It's not his worst film that Stallone has starred in, but it's one of his most disappointing though. And Danny Cannon directed that film. This though, also sucks. This guy, I don't think it's not like. Well, like I said, I've not seen his other film called The Phoenix with Ray Liotta. I've not seen that film, but two of his films I think has sucked. So, but this film, okay. In this film, Jennifer Love Hewitt comes back as Julie, and Freddie Prinze Jr. comes back as Ray. And you got two other characters right here on the cover. You got Brandy, who plays Jennifer Love Hewitt's friend, and Mekhi Phifer, who plays Brandy's boyfriend. Mekhi Phifer, he's been in some other films, but I remember him he was in the Dawn of the Dead remake. He was the guy who his wife was pregnant and got zombified with the zombie baby. I liked him in that film, but and with the cast here, the acting for the film for the most part, especially for our four main actors, their acting is not bad at all. Well, there's a couple other things, but for the most part, for our four leads here, I thought their acting wasn't that bad. So that's one little thing I could say credit for. Although they're doing the best they can, but they have such a shitty script that they have to work with. So like Jennifer Love Hewitt, not much though, but it's not her fault because she has a crappy script to work with. And Freddie Prinze Jr. I liked him in this film. To be honest, he did he had an improvement over in the previous one because, well, he hadn't had much to do in the previous one, in the first film, in the first film until the end of the movie. Well, you probably can say the same thing right here, though, but here's his. He's like I understand him more. You're more. What to do in this film, so I don't know how to put the words, but I think his performance-wise, better here than the previous one, and like in this one, like how he knows what's happening. He really wants to help Jennifer Love Hewitt. That's why he's still so determined to help her by going over to wherever she's at the island. So he's prepared himself to buy himself a gun, and yeah, so he's more keen on helping with Jennifer Love Hewitt. So that's what I'm trying to say. So he does a good job, and Brandy, I thought she was fine acting wise, and same with Mekhi Phifer. And it's just the script is very terrible in this film, and the score by John Frizzell, which he's done some scores. He did one for the 13 Ghosts and for Ghost Ship as well. It's just okay. It's a year, and especially also the thing is, the title itself. Let's start with the title. This is a false title. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Technically, okay, in this film, it's a year after the previous film, the first one. So technically, it's 2 summers of the event that in the first one that happened when they hit Ben Willis with their car. So technically, it's 2 summers ago. So it should be I Still Know What You Did 2 summers ago, basically. So it's not just last summer. You should put like right here next to last summer. It's 2 or wherever here 2 summers ago, or last 2 summers. I don't know. That's the thing. The title is first thing is the problem issue is the title. It's I Know What You Did 2 summers, the last 2 summers, whatever. So that's the first issue of it. That's a title that makes no sense. So it's a false title as well. So. And it shows an opening with Jennifer Love Hewitt. She has a nightmare where she's with Ben Willis in the church, and she's doing a confession, and she gets attacked, but then she wakes up in her school. She's in college, and she has this guy, this friend named Will. Then she's friends with Brandy, and once again, like her relationship with Freddie Prinze Jr. is a little bit on the rocks, but. But she's trying to make the relationship work as well. And one day, like the next day or so, they get a call from this DJ radio, and to win a contest to a trip to the Bahamas for the next 4th of July. And Brandy gets the call, and it's like, what's the capital of Brazil? And they guess Rio, and you won for the trip to the Bahamas. Which I'll get to this whole plan towards the end. When I get towards the end, because it's entirely dumb and stupid. So I'll get to that in a second. So they plan to take the trip with Brandy, Mekhi Phifer, and she wanted Ray to go. Basically wanted to, but then he changes his mind because he's talking with his friend Dave that he bought Ray and proposed to her. So and he's driving over there to meet her, and then they see this car in the middle of the road. Freddie Prinze Jr. gets out to sea, and I think it's a mannequin, it's a trap, and his friend gets impaled, hooked through the mouth, and Freddie Prinze Jr. is like, his reaction is like, he's like, no. And I do like the way they shot this, where he's running away from the fisherman. He's driving the truck, and then somebody's coming, and then he jumps off the road, and like the truck skids against the rail, and he's jumping off. I did like that little shot there. He falls down. He gets injured. We see him in the hospital, but he's gonna be fine. And I guess the fisherman, he got injured. I guess because he was in the hospital as well because they saw one of the things flatlined. They saw the bed is empty and the window was open. So I guess he ended up in the hospital. So he knows where they're going. So since he can go, that the guy Will goes with them to this island, Tower Bay. But then there's all people leaving. There's a hurricane coming. So it's just going to be just them. And when they get to the island, they meet... I completely forgot because he's uncredited in this film, but I forgot that Jack Black was in this. I was like, oh, I forgot that Jack Black is this, because you see him, he has dreads, and of course he smokes weed. He's a pool guy, but he's a hippie. You know, and whatever he said, you know, just like he was like, I got the whatever he has, the cream jeans, and what he said. I was like, what the heck is he saying? And all that stuff. I mean, I would say the acting from our four leads is not bad, but Jack Black, he was just annoying as hell in this film. His way he's talking, and because he's like, because he gets the dread, he's talking like a hippie, so he was just annoying in this film. So I say Jack Black. Yeah, I didn't care for him in this film. so I didn't care when he died. So yeah, because when you see him die, he's in this little shed and he's with his plants of weed, and then the fisherman comes in, Ben Willis. First he sticks his hook in his hand, then he grabs some shears and sticks it in his chest, and he's like, "Oh no, it's all good," and then just shears in the chest. So yeah, so that's how we see Jack Black in this film. In a slash film, he dies just like that. But he was annoying in this film. That's one thing I didn't care for him in this film. But when they get there, they get these honeymoon suites, and first they meet with Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs, Reanimator himself in this film. He's the manager of the hotel. And also another one, Bill Cobbs. He's the porter named Estes. And it's Bill Cobbs is in this because I like Bill Cobbs. He's been usually he has more supporting small supporting roles in the films, but if you see him in the films, you recognize him. Hey, that's Bill Cobbs. You see him in films he was in, like I said, is probably his main starring role in a supporting role though was Air Bud. He was the old New York Knicks player, Arthur Chaney. I liked him in Air Bud, and I've seen him in other films. But Bill Cobbs, he's a good actor. He's been in other films like he had a role in Demolition Man. He was like an older guy that Stallone knew from back in the day, and he's been in other, like I said, Air Bud, and I think he was in Oz the Great and Powerful. The prequel to Wizard of Oz with James Franco. But Bill Cobbs, he's a decent. I like him as an actor, so just nice. It was nice to see him in there. So so they get there, and I forgot to mention another scene early before they all went to the trip. Kind of another dumb thing, but that either she was hallucinating or it was real. I was picking hallucinating because before the whole trip and whole incident where she was having nightmares about Ben Willis, Brandy wanted her to come to this party, this rave, whatever, this disco party, whatever you call it, and she looks up and she sees Ben Willis there. Now, if he was real there, people think an older guy in a teen's party, just dressed in his fisherman uniform. People would not notice that though. But I'm thinking because she's hallucinating because, as he's looking over, I noticed that he still has his right hand. Because by the end of the first film, he got his hand cut off, and by the rest of this film, he has the hook for a hand. So I'm just thinking that she's seen him hallucinating because, like I said, he's looking down at her. He still has his right hand, not having the hook. So, but if it was real, it's like people would not notice. So that was kind of a dumb thing. But whatever. But then it's just a lot of stupid choices in this film. But then later in the night, where they were at the bar and they choose to do some karaoke. And another dumb thing: how the fisherman did this? How did he like fix this or rig it? You know, like she's singing, you know, "I will survive," right? And she's reading off the lyrics off the TV, and then it says, I know what you did last summer," or "I still know what you did last summer." And how did he rig that? I have no idea. And then they don't believe her. I think she sees like losing that still, especially Mekhi Phifer. And even in the instance where earlier there's this guy who, like, when they got on the island, this guy was talking with Jack Black. He was trying to tie the boat. So he falls in the water, but he tries to get back up. Then fisherman slashes at him, kills him. When she's got out of the shower and she's hearing something or she's seeing things, she opens her closet. The body just drops down. And when they come back to show, when she wants to show everybody, like gets Jeffrey Combs too, they don't believe her. So, and it's like Mekhi Phifer doesn't believe her, and for us, he's at the point he's making fun of her. Like the next morning, where he's like, "You seen any bodies lately? How about a Freddie or a Jason?" or I think she said, I think he also said Miss Nutcase or whatever. Dumb. But and the whole thing with the Prinze Jr., he's out of the hospital, but he wants to go and, because he knows what's going on, so he wants to go and help her. So he goes to the pawn shop and he sells the ring to buy a gun. And even to the part where, you know, when the storm is out there, right, and he talks to the guy, I want a boat to get to the island, and once the guy says, "I need your boat," so, and it's like for a good majority of it, after seeing him in the hospital, you don't see him for a good majority of the film, like towards the end of the movie. But I still like Freddie Prinze Jr. I think performance-wise, he still does a good job still, and then one by one, people getting killed, and like this, there's this housekeeper. She finds bloody sheets, and the fisherman just slashes at her. Then he picks her up with the hook and drives her back to the room. And then to one point where, and then Jack Black gets killed, and then again, that was a dumb thing. Okay. The fishermen, like, okay, it's the next day, right, and Jennifer Love Hewitt, she goes to this tanning booth, which, why would you just admit where after she saw a dead body and all that stuff, you want to go to a tanning booth to, like, next day, just trying to forget your troubles like that. And then the fisherman does a dumb thing, like, she's there, he has an opportunity to kill her, but instead wants to toy with her, and he zip ties the thing down where she can't get out and turns it all the way up. I mean, why bother to do that where you could just kill her right then and there? But no. And then when Brandy finds a body in the washing machine, all of them, and then the two other guys, they find the Jack Black dead, and they either have those troubles, like, trying to get her out. Why instead of just turning off the machine or unplugging it, or we're struggling to get the thing open, why don't you just unplug it, or just turn the thing off, where he turned the knob to make the thing hotter? Why don't you just turn the knob off and then try to get her out after, or unplug the thing? I don't know. Too many dumb things in this film. So Then she tells him the story that 2 summers ago, they had been Willis with her car. Then the last summer he killed Barry and Helen, Ryan Phillippe and Sarah Michelle Gellar. and saying they never found the body, and thought they killed him, but he's still alive. But then they go to find the porter guy, Bill Cobbs. And again, one of the a pointless thing is that for instance, you see Bill Cobbs, he does voodoo because he says he took some couple of things from them to protect them. And then they assume they assume that he's the killer, like especially Mekhi Phifer. He thinks he's the one who's doing it. And first of all, I think you bring this whole voodoo. I think this whole voodoo thing is pointless, to be honest. Why bother using all this stuff when we all know that it's the they will, especially that Jeffery knows he's not the one who's doing it. I don't know. It's just why bring up this whole voodoo thing? It's just pointless, but. And it's the point where this whole plan she figures out this whole contest was set up, and that Rio's not the capital of Brazil, it's Brasilia. Bill Cobbs tells her that, and he knows who Ben Willis is. He tells him that where these graves were at, that Ben Willis had a family, a wife and 2 kids, a daughter. They go to the gravesite where the wife and the daughter is, but they said the son had disappeared. And then he leaves. And there's a gravestone with Julie's name on it. And then you got the stupid thing where she's basically repeating what she said in the first film, like in the first one, she's like, "What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for? I'm right here." She repeats the same line and works like, "If you want me, Ben Wells, come get me, I'm right here. But my grave stays empty." Well, basically saying the same lines that she said in the first film. That I did not care for. I mean, you don't need to repeat the same line as enough as it is. Saying the first time in the first film was enough, though, but you don't need to repeat the same thing over again in the second film. So, the guy is supposed to get Bill Cobbs, and he's like, "We ain't going nowhere," and he hits him with a paddle. And then Mekhi Phifer, Brandy, and Jennifer Love, who had to go to the kitchen, they find that the other female worker, played by, what was her name? Who was the woman? Jennifer Esposito. I think I've seen her in another film. I forget though. And Mekhi Phifer, then he gets killed. He gets the hook up the throat, and then they run from him. They run up to the not the attic though, but it's above the rooms. They walk across the beams, and then Brandy, she gets stuck, and then she falls in this glass and into the greenhouse, and then the fisherman's chasing after her, and then the guy Will comes. It's like, oh, he thinks he has some blood on his side here, and basically saying that's not my blood. And you get the whole reveal that he's Ben Willis' son. Now the whole plan was now we're into what I explained. The whole plan is this whole plan was dumb and stupid because I think it was like such a very complicated and convoluted. Well, it's convoluted, but it was such a very complicated plan. Okay, he was the guy Ben Willis' son, Will. He was the voice of as a DJ on the radio. Like he's on the phone, and he on the radio too as well. So he gets this whole complicated plan for him to go on the radio just for coincidence for those two alone to hear, and he knew about this as well. Like all this stuff were just to get close to Jeffery Lovely, even I guess at the college as well, and to be close to her as a friend and all that stuff, and plan all this to lure her all the way to the radio contest and to the island and all that. I mean, because Bill Cobbs also said that Ben Willis also worked there at the hotel for years as well. So, I mean, this whole thing is why you know where she lives though. Why does this just go to her place and just kill her there at her house? But we would have no movie. But it's just this whole thing just to set up this whole contest and just be on the radio and to be. I say, why is it always simple? Why don't you just go to her place and just kill her instead of going on this make this complicated plan to set this whole thing, this whole radio contest, and all the way at the island and all that. I mean, it just seems it's too complicated just to set, just to go all this way just to kill her. That's been their whole evil plot was just so complicated and convoluted as well. You know, didn't need to go through all this. I mean, if you know where she lives, because you know the phone number to call, right? At where her and Brandy's place. So that's the thing. That's all this stupid stuff that happens in the film, especially the whole plot of it. All this time to plan all this. I think it was just big enough just to go to her place and just kill her. But we would have no movie though, so the film must be way too short by like what 15 or 20 minutes. But yeah. But yeah, he tells her that he's the son. He's there, and then Freddie Prinze comes up and saying, "Let her go." Let her go, and for some reason the gun doesn't work. He clicks it, doesn't work. Then, but he does gets a couple punches at the son. Gets a good couple punches at him. Then he fights back, and then although I did like what he does here, like the guy. The son of Ben Willis, he holds him like this, and when Ben Willis comes charging out with the hook, Freddie Prinze Jr. does like an elbow and gets out of the way just in time for the fisherman to accidentally stab his own son. So I did like that. So Freddie Prinze Jr. for the little stuff, these little fighting he had was good, but even though he was not in much of the movie though, but I like towards the end though. And then he starts screaming, "Ah!" And he got another dumb thing. Okay, then Jennifer Love Hewitt, she starts shooting at the fisherman. Now it's a 6 bullet revolver, so she keeps on shooting at him, saying, "Just fucking die." I counted 8 times from a 6 bullet revolver or 6 shooter, whatever. 8 times. Sometimes they do that in movies where there's more bullets than what the actual gun has. Yeah, so she shot him 8 times from a 6 shooter revolver. I think I remember call that in Halloween 5, that piece of garbage. Where I recall that, and that's another scene where it shot more than the amount of where the gun has. Like where the scene where at the Michael Myers house, and the cop Troy Evans, Charlie, the actor Troy Evans, was with Daniel Harris, and he's bursting through the door, and well, first of all, instead of using a shotgun because he had, but he doesn't use it. Instead, he uses his revolver. He shot more than 6 times. I think it was like 8 times as well. That's another thing, shoot more bullets than the actual gun has. But Halloween 5 was this garbage, so. But I'm just remarking because sometimes they do that in movies where more bullets are than the actual gun has. Here, shoots him 8 times from a 6 bullet revolver, a 6 shooter. It's just funny. It's like, why? But anyway, yeah, 8 times he falls in the grave. Then the storm is done. Brandy, she's still alive. Oh, I forgot to mention another thing. With Bill Cobbs, I guess the kid, the son, he stabbed Bill Cobbs, and through the chest with this, I think it's a harpoon, I think. And he falls on top of the woman, Jennifer Esposito, and the fisherman comes in and sticks the harpoon that was already through Bill Cobbs, but sticks it further into the woman. And then he swipes at Brandy, and she falls. You think she's dead, but she's not. She survived, and then the Coast Guard comes. And then sometime later, we're now Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt, they're moved in together to a house, and he's in the bathroom, the door closes behind him, and then when Jennifer Love Hewitt, she's on the bed, she sees in the mirror that he's under the bed, and just pulls her and drags her, and then it cuts away. So it's left another thing is that, like, it looked like an ending like at the end of the first film, where where they said at the beginning it was a nightmare, like the shower scene. They mentioned the shower scene at the end of the movie, so that was a sin. But something like that. So I was thinking, this is another dream or is this real? I don't know. But these characters are not mentioned in the third film, which honestly, I'll always know what you did last summer. The third film, that is truly a piece of garbage. That's much worse than this because the fisherman, he's a zombie because being shot. Even whether that ending right there was like a dream sequence or not, he was being shot 8 times, which should have killed him enough though. But he's like Jason Voorhees now. He's a zombie attacking these other people who they have no affiliation to with the previous films. But yeah. So yeah, I still know what you did last summer. The film sucks. I mean, our 4 cast members right here, their acting is not that bad. Well, especially Freddie Prinze Jr. He did a good job too. But Jennifer Love Hewitt, she's trying what she has to work with, but the script gave her not much. And Brandy, Mekhi, Phifer, they were fine as well. And Bill Cobbs, was nice to see him in there. I thought he was good too. Jeffery Combs, nice to see him though, but even you see his death too, which you don't see it, but when they open the doors, you see him bloodied up with a machete in his head, and then bloody letters of "I still know." So, but Jeffrey Combs, I'll just still watch Reanimator. I mean, it was nice to see him there, but not much for him in this film. I mean, Jack Black, he was annoying. I didn't care for him in this one. He was the hippie pool guy with the dreads and whatever. Didn't care for him in this film. There's a reason why I forgot he was in this film, and for good reason. I mean, the kills were not much. I mean, the beginning of the film, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s friend Dave, the character he gets just hooked through the mouth, and then the guy who fell in the water, it cuts away though, just see a blood spatter. Jack Black gets shears in the chest, and the housekeeper gets like this, and then stabbed again. Jeffrey Combs, he gets killed off screen. You see the aftermath, the machete in the head. Bill Cobbs, he gets impaled, and then he falls top of the girl, and she gets impaled on him. And then Mekhi Phifer through the throat. So the kills were not much. The score wasn't much either. The film, for the most part, was just boring, I guess. Well, I don't say I guess. I think it was. And just too many stupid things, like the whole hallucinating at the party, whether he thinks he's there or not. Or what was it, with the whole how he was able to rate the karaoke thing, I still know what you did last summer, or the stupid things where the bad guys their whole plan just to kill her. They should just kill her when she was at home. That way they could save all the whole trouble. And even Ben Wilson, the fisherman, had an opportunity to kill her, like when she's at the tanning booth, but instead he just goes and just ties the thing shut instead of just, oh, surprise, stab. No, he just ties the thing shut and just sets the whole thing up for that. And I mean, he had a chance to do it, but he just blew it. But Freddie Prinze Jr., I liked when he was being chased at the beginning. And then once he's really determined to help Julie, and he gets a gun and he's let her go, and he gets a good couple punches at the son, and does the elbow to make him gets out of the way for the son to get stabbed. But Jennifer Love Hewitt, like I said, she's trying with the bad script she's worked with, and even she has to repeat the line from the first film. What are you waiting for? Come get me, or whatever. Didn't need to repeat that. And then the whole thing, the ending ends kind of like it was in the end of the first film, whether it's a dream or it's not. So, and then when the film came out, it was panned by critics, has a mediocre 7% Rotten Tomatoes, for good reason. Well, The third film has a 0%. I think it deserves that. But this has a 7% and has a 4.6 on IMDb, much lower than the first film. Now, for the budget, okay, Wikipedia says 24 million. Now, Wikipedia is not always right. They're not always dependable on stuff like that, though. But on Box Office Mojo, it's like a budget of 65 million. I don't know how that film cost 65 million. And Wikipedia it's not always right. It said it grossed like 84 million worldwide, but domestically it made 40. And Box Office Mojo, it shows only made 40 million, nothing overseas. So they say, and Wikipedia says it's a success, or Box Office Mojo said it was a flop. I don't trust Wikipedia for the most part, because they're not always right and everything. I always go for more, because I always do a little thing on the other computer right here where I do box office stuff. I always use Box Office Mojo. To me, for the most part, it seems right though, because it seems more dependable than Wikipedia is. So if I do Box Office Mojo, I'll say I'll go. Even though I'll go with the budget is 65 million, which I don't know how this one will cost 65 million, but the 40 million domestically, nothing money overseas. That means the film was a flop. But if you think Wikipedia is right, then fine. I'll just, because Wikipedia is not always trustworthy. So it's either it's a success or a flop. You take your pick. I think it's a flop, because to me Wikipedia is not always dependable. I'll stick with Box Office Mojo instead. It seems more reliable. So I'll say it flopped. But yeah, Danny Cannon, I don't think he's just not directing another film, which he hasn't done since, so. Well, he did another film after that. I think it was like somewhere mid 2000s, I think, though. But Judge Dredd sucked, disappointing, and this film sucked. Like I said, there are four lead characters, including Bill Cobbs, were fine. Excuse me. That's what I feel like. That's what I think of the film. It makes me want to burp. But yeah, 20 years later, the film still sucks. The first film was still watchable for me. I still like the movie, the first film. And like I said, the title doesn't make any sense. Like, I still know what you did last summer, which makes it, I still know what you did 2 summers, the last 2 summers. So that film, that's the title is false as well. So yeah, that's I don't know what else to say. 20th anniversary of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It still sucks. I'll also stick to watching the first film. That's the only good one I like. And the third film, I don't have a third film because I rented that years ago. I didn't bother owning on DVD, so I'm not gonna review that because I know it's crap. It's much worse than this film. But anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.